Have you ever heard the statement, revenge is a dish best served cold? Well, I think revenge is a dish best served cold, but with a bottle of wine. I'm going to tell you a story about revenge. And this story is called The Cask of Amontillado by Edgar Allan Poe. So our story starts off with our protagonist, whose name is Montresor. Now, Montresor tells us that he has been wronged by his friend Fortunato. Fortunato has continually been insulting him and making jokes about him and embarrassing him in public. And finally, one night, he insults him, he insults his family, he insults his ancestral name. And that was too much for Montresor. He's like, that's it. That's the final straw. I'm going to get him back. I'm going to exact revenge on him. But it wasn't a simple act of revenge. No, he wasn't going to embarrass him in public. He wasn't going to return an insult. He was going to do something long-term, something permanent. Now, as we journey through this story, we're going to find out that Montresor, who you might feel is a victim, oh, he's been wronged, he's been insulted. I mean, I would probably get upset if somebody insulted my family name, but I don't think that I would take it to the level that we're going to see as the story unfolds. So Montresor starts planning and plotting his revenge. It's very calculated. He's a master manipulator and he's extremely deceitful. So he's hatched his plan and now he's waiting for an opportune time to make it happen. That's pretty good. So he knows Fortunato loves to drink wine. He loves to get drunk. And he goes to this certain place, and around dusk time in the evening is when he usually goes home, and by this time he's pretty inebriated. So he conveniently runs into him in the street. He's outside, they're alone, but the conversation is jovial as Fortunato has no inclination that Montresor has anything devious or sinister planned for him. Why would he? Montresor always greets him with a smile and pleasantries. So he runs into him in the street and he is, hello, how are you doing? I don't have time to talk. I'm in a hurry. I'm on a mission. And of course, now Fortunato was like, what's your hurry? What's your mission? So Montresor tells him, well, I have an Amontillado that I need to have tested. And since I didn't know where you were, I have reached out to Lucrece and I'm going to have him come drink it with me and have him tell me if it is true or not. Well, Fortunato, he's arrogant, he's prideful, and he sees himself as a wine aficionado. And of course, he's immediately, oh, no, he goes, first of all, you don't have an Amontillado. That is a rare and priceless wine. You've been fooled, my friend. And secondly, Lucrece is a fool. He has no knowledge. He'll never be able to tell you whether it is true or not, but I can. Let's go. Let me try it. Montresor's like, no, I don't want to bother you. I know you're on your way home. You know, I'll just go find Lucrece. It's fine. He'll know. Fortunato's not hearing it. He's like, absolutely not. I am good to go. I can drink more. I'm not drunk. Let's go. Where is this Amontillado? So Montresor tells him, it's at my home in my vault. And Fortunato is more than willing to go. And in fact, he insists they go. He takes Montresor by the arm and says, let's go. Let's go test this Amontillado so I can prove to you that you have been fooled, my friend. Let's go. So what is Montresor to do but happily oblige? But we know he's had this planned and it's working out perfectly. Now Fortunato is willingly insisting that they go to the vault to try this wine. So off they go to Montresor's house. Now, the the manipulation didn't just start there. The manipulation and the deceit and the plan started even prior to. So at his home, Montresor is, the guy's a master of reverse psychology. He needs to have privacy. He doesn't need witnesses. So he tells his staff that he is leaving and he is going to be gone overnight until the morning, that they all must stay and they all must tend to the house and take care of it because he won't be there. But he knows his staff pretty well, and he knows that as soon as he leaves, that his staff, they will leave too. They're gonna pop chalks and head out and go have themselves a night free to themselves because the master's not gonna be there. Well, they did exactly that. So when he gets back to his home with Fortunato, the staff is gone. There's no one there. They're all alone. Perfect. He must have been beaming with pride at this point, just that his plan was just going off without a hitch. It was moving forth seamlessly. So now they're at the house. They're going to go down into the vault, which is the wine cellar. And as they go down into the steps, they had to get torches because it's so dark down there. And as they step down into the darkness, Montresor is telling Fortunato, hey, you know, it's really dark and cold down here. We don't have to do this. Let us go. We can do this another time. Fortunato is insistent. It's like, absolutely not. It's fine. We'll be fine. Let's go. Take me to the Amontillado. I want to try this. And so they keep going down. And as they go in deeper and deeper, you start realizing that the wine cellar is also catacombs. It is the burial place of Montresor's ancestors. Right, exactly. You're thinking what I'm thinking, okay? He took him down into the grave site of the ancestors that he had insulted. And of course, Fortunato probably doesn't even remember making the insulting remark, so he has no clue. He's oblivious to what Montresor is actually doing at this point. And again, he's inebriated. So, as they're walking down, they're noticing it is very cold, and Montresor is like, hey, let's grab a bottle of wine. Let me get you a bottle of wine. Let's drink a bottle of wine so it'll warm us up. And so he grabs one of the bottles out from amongst the bones of one of his relatives. And of course, he doesn't have a wine bottle opener at the time, so he just breaks the top off and they begin to drink the wine out of this broken bottle. And so they have the first bottle of wine as they continue on. So these catacombs must have gone on forever because they end up drinking 2 bottles of wine on their way to the vault where the Amontillado is supposedly residing. So when they get to the second bottle of wine, I can only imagine that Fortunato is completely drunk at this point. He has to be stumbling, and they're in the dark, and it's just not looking good for him. So with the second bottle of wine, before he takes a drink, Fortunato makes a toast. He makes a toast to Montresor's ancestors and to the bottle of Amontillado that they are going to drink. Wow, isn't that funny? And then Fortunato is laughing. He's jovial. He thinks this is all in good spirit, in good faith. Well, Montresor makes a reply toast, and he toasts to Fortunato's long life and to the Amontillado. Well, at this point, we know he's probably not going to have a long life, and we're pretty sure, well, we don't know yet. Is there an Amontillado? Is there not an Amontillado? Probably not. So they continue on, and they finally make it to the vault where the Amontillado is supposedly residing. This Amontillado is actually pretty good. So Fortunato is like, where is this Amontillado? Where is it? I am ready to try it. Montressor opens the vault door and he says, go inside, it's in there. So he hurriedly goes in, he's all excited, and he's in pitch black darkness. The air in here is so heavy that it almost puts the torches out. Then Montressor goes into the vault and he says to him, oh, Montressor, you must put your hands against the wall and feel how the water trickles down. And he does this, probably steadying himself as well. At this point, he's got to be so inebriated he can't even stand up. So he leans against the wall and he puts his hands on the wall. And as he does this, Montressor, there's a chain on the wall with a cuff, and he cuffs his hand to the wall. Now he's trapped. Montressor steps out of the vault as Fortunato was talking to him, and he's like, okay, this is a funny joke. I'm sure we're gonna laugh about this as we drink our wine together. And as Montressor is stepping out of the vault, he says back to him, oh yes, we will laugh and drink the Amontillado together. And as he's doing this, he is setting bricks up around the door. Brick by brick by brick. He is bricking him in. He is creating a tomb. He is going to bury him alive. And as he puts the final brick in, he says his heart feels sick, but it must be the cold. There's no remorse. He exacted his revenge, and he had no remorse. He turns around, he leaves the vault, he goes back upstairs and shuts the door. And at the end of the story, he makes the statement that for half a century, for 50 years, no human hand has touched those bricks where he is. No one ever knew what he did. No one ever knew that Fortunato was sealed in that vault in his tomb amongst the ancestors and the wine. Hey, what's going on with this label? It's not an Amontillado after all. Revenge is served.